Hello and welcome to the Leading Lounge. I'm your host, Dr. Justin DuBose. Here in the Leading Lounge, we talk with today's leaders and unpack lessons learned and being learned from a career of leading and communicating in their field. These conversations are designed to be both informal and informative, and we want to equip you with wisdom and tools to empower you as a leader where you are and where you want to be. Hey everybody, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2024. Happy you made it. My last episode with you here in the Leading Lounge came out early November as we wrapped up our third season. And I wanted to record this special preview episode for you just to kind of give you some insight into some things we're trying with the podcast that I hope improve it and make it a little better for you, perhaps make it a little more practical for you. I was communicating with some listeners and some folks who said, hey, you know what might really be helpful is the interviews are great, but if you could interweave in there some points, some tips, some tricks, some tools about leadership and communication, I would really appreciate it. That would be very helpful for me in my work. And so I thought, what a great idea. What a great idea that is. So next week, we're releasing our first episode of season 4. This is really just a kind of a preview episode for what's to come, tell you about some of the changes. But I'm excited because I've already got some great interviews for you with a variety of different people who lead in difficult circumstances, some military leaders, some educators, some international educators and missionaries. And the interview portion is going to stay there, and it's going to be fantastic. But what I'm really excited about is we're going to do every other episode is going to be what I'm calling tips, tricks, and tools. And I'm going to walk through a book. And so if you're watching this on YouTube, in the description there, you'll find a link to the book. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or somewhere else, check the show notes. I'll put in a link to the book for you. But the book that I'm going to be using as the material for kind of every other episode with the tips, tricks, and tools going forward is going to be this one here. If you're on YouTube, it's on the screen. It's called The Leadership Challenge. Leadership Challenge. It's by James Kouzes and Barry Posner. 6th edition, How to Make Extraordinary Things Happen in Organizations. And this book is so very good. I've used it in the universities that I teach in. I've designed courses around it, designed a course for the Texas Rangers. So there's a leadership course that one of my universities asked me to build for the Texas Rangers. And I said, hey, I've got this great book. Can I use this as the basis for designing it? They said, sure. It's in English. It's in Spanish. It's easy to get. And it's tried and true. The first edition of this came out, I believe, in the 80s, and it just continues to be good. The authors are academics, but the book is exceedingly practical. So the first episode, what I'm going to do is it's going to be the first tips, tricks, and tools from this, and then we'll alternate. So we'll have a tips, tricks, and tools, and then we'll have an interview, and then a tips, tricks, and tools. Say that 5 times fast. And then an interview. And one of the things I love about this book so much is that every chapter ends with some very practical, hey, here's how you do this. So all I'm going to do is pick one of those practical implementations specifically focused on leadership and kind of walk through how do you do this in the workplace? How do you do this in real life? How do you do this with the people you work with the teams that you lead? And I hope it's helpful to you. I've got nothing but positive things to say about the book. And so as we're going through this, if you got any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. You can hit the website there, communicatetoCare.com, and there's a contact button, and just shoot me a message, and I'm happy to help. I've also designed one of my coaching packages that I'm doing with clients right now, call it my executive coaching package. But it's the principles from this book. And so what I do with clients is I'll provide them a copy of the book and we'll just walk through it together. But it's looking at these principles and very specifically and very uniquely applying it to their context. So if that's something you're interested in, hit the website, hit the contact link, and send me an email. I'd love to talk to you about it. I found it to be very effective. very impactful and very personal. Anybody can take a book and read it, but to have someone walk with you through the practical implementation of tried and true principles is really invaluable. And I personally find great joy in doing that and coming alongside people who have the drive, they got the potential, but gosh, they just need a little boost. They just need someone who's been there before to come alongside and help them out. So that's going to start next week. We'll release our first sort of regular episode beyond this preview episode. And like I said, hit the description if you're on YouTube, hit the show notes if you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. I'll put the Amazon link in there to pick one up. But very much looking forward to that, and I hope it's helpful for you. And if I can help you with any of those things or someone again, please go to the website, communicatetocare.com. Find the contact link, hit me up. Would so love to help you. Would so love to have a conversation with you and work with you, because the stuff here is fantastic and the work that you do is fantastic. And just bringing those two together a lot of times is all you need. I'm writing an article right now about my personal formula for leadership development, which is that leadership development is the right tools plus the right relationship equals successful leadership development. So I really believe that. I've seen that played out. So with this tool and the right relationship of somebody to work through it with you can really make a huge difference in your life and in the work that you do. So there's a preview for this season. First episode comes out next week, and it's going to be looking at the leadership challenge together and unpacking some of the principles. So look forward to season 4 with you. Got any questions? Hit the website. That'll be in the description. That'll be in the show notes. Send me a message. Would love to chat with you. But a happy new year. I hope 2024 is the best year you've ever had. And so glad to be on this journey with you in the Leading Lounge. So tune in next week. Got a great season ahead for you.